Hey, I'm Tom.
And I'm Tanner.
Welcome to episode 87 of Bird Squawk.
Same old story with this team. At least they hung around again. I think this was one of the more competitive. They kept it in it. It's the same story though. The defense. Oh, it's actually not the same story. The offense actually didn't look too bad. It's the defense that can't get off the field, and we're gonna do a deep dive into this defense as this video goes on, because there's a lot. I think that's the unit that needs to be most revamped this offseason, as now
totally
it's gone to, I know we've been trying to avoid it, but it's gone to like draft talk here. We're gonna get a little draft talky a little bit, but yeah, they hanged around. I think 27-24 loss, kick at the end, they lost, and I don't know. I thought Saucy did well. Let's start with the offense. I think the offense did well. I think Saucy called a good game. I think there's a lot of telling points from the game plan, but they were a lot more, they moved the ball more consistently.
I think the past couple weeks, Saucy has heard the pundits out there saying what we need to do, and I think he's made some changes, and you can see the changes he's made is quite evident. You know, we've committed to running the ball. I mean, which we were all clamoring for, but now in a reverse, thing with that. Now people are complaining we're running too much. So it is the age-old adage where you can't keep everybody happy. But I do believe, we've seen Saucy kind of listen, grow, kind of put some things in. We were having that discussion about whether is it Saucy's system, is it Jalen? I think now we can turn that to the defense. Is it Gannon and his system, or is it what he's got to work with?
Yeah, I mean, before we get to the defense, I agree. I think the last couple weeks you've kind of been able to see, and I know you could run it on Detroit, and I know you could run it on the Chargers, but it showed to me that Saucy was kind of like, all right, I tried to tailor it with Jalen here, and it just wasn't working. And now we kind of got to do more of what I am here for. This is my system. This is my scheme. Let's do what I want to do and try not to take the lead around Jalen. Once again, I'm not even, before leaving the game, Jalen wasn't even really on my, hit list on this video. There's really not a whole lot to talk about him.
The offense played great, I thought.
Yeah,
we can get real minuscule and say missed a couple passes here and there, but I mean, come on, man. I mean, the offense was, I would say, the most productive of all the games so far this year.
That being said, he still isn't the guy. I'm still pretty adamant that he's not the guy. Take that as you want it. I just think what I once again, it's take those small excitements that you can. Devontae Smith, great game, breakout game.
He really looks like he's getting comfortable, and he's, I think I said to him the other day, I mean, he's like 7-Eleven, dude. That dude is open 7-Eleven.
He's a stud, and at least they can finally get him right.
Every route, it looks like he's open.
He got some space. He kind of showed what he can do. The touchdown was great. I'm not worried about him.
Midway through the season again, though, we're sitting here going, what is Rager? What is Quez?
Yeah, we're gonna.
Where is the help? Where is the help? What other weapons do we got? It looks like right now we got Goddard and we got Devontae.
I know, and I'll get a little bit into that too from what I heard on the radio today. But yeah, at least he's looking good. I think they got Devontae Smith right, but I wasn't worried about him. We were not worried about Devontae Smith. We knew he was going to be a stud.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get to the defense here. And I agree. Is it Gannon? Because I was close to getting to Gannon. I wasn't jumping on the Saucy hate because I still have belief in the guy. And I think he's turned a page. I think a lot of people are kind of like, okay, maybe he's all right. But Gannon has not helped himself. It's mostly, but the thing is, I'm not sure, because you can say they didn't pressure, but I've been seeing and hearing that they blitzed more often than not on Sunday. They were bringing the pressure, and that D-line wasn't getting home, and that's what it's all about. If they're not getting home, the secondary and the linebackers are not good.
I mean, you can say what you want, but Herbert's uniform was as clean at the end of the game as it was in the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, there was nothing. He was not touched. He was not knocked down. I mean, the punter didn't even have to get on the plane to come from L.A. to the game.
Oh, yeah, he shouldn't have. He got booed.
The only thing he did was come out at the halftime show, you know? But, I mean, you know, we got a lot of money tied up in that line, that D-line. And some games they show up. Some games they don't. Primarily, most of the games this year they have not.
Yeah, and that being said, I'm not discrediting that the defensive scheme is not good right now. I agree that it's not. But it's evident in the games we've won. The games, the Detroit game, the Carolina game, the Atlanta game. That D-line feasted. And when they feast, that makes the rest of the defense look better. And that's the issue with the way the defense is built right now.
I think, honestly, with some good receiving teams, I don't think he has faith in Avonte, Nelson, and big play Slay.
Well, the thing is, they don't press.
Be on an island by themselves.
They don't press. And they do the zone, and the zone's and they're worried about getting beat over the top. It's very evident from week one that that's been their scheme. And they made some big stops, but that game could have easily have gotten out of hand because they made a couple fourth down stops.
But you always felt, though, when we needed that
they weren't
going
to get off the field.
Getting
exactly.
You know,
so
that's been the story of the season, really.
That's what I mean. That's why this draft is so important. And not trying to move on so quickly from that game, but it's the same crap. We can talk about the same crap all we want to. But I know it's still early for the draft, but to me, you gotta continue to address. Because I saw a thing the other day, which blew my mind. They have not drafted a linebacker, a corner, or a safety in the first round since Lito Shepherd in 2002. I was one. Yeah. They have not done that in my lifetime. And that is something that needs to change. And the thing is, I'm scared that's not going to change. We know that they don't care about the linebacker position. But to me, and I've been saying this for the last couple weeks, these 3 first-round picks need to be a linebacker, a safety, and a corner.
I mean, you look at some of the good teams, man, and their linebacking core. Like, you look at Tampa Bay with that White.
Devin White.
Devin White. I mean, God, that dude's an animal. But we just don't put the value in linebacker. I mean, we have not put that value there since Trot.
No, yeah.
Know? And you know, we try to band-aid that thing and fix it through free agency, and obviously you saw the free agent they signed this offseason. They cut him.
I mean, it just is. That's what, and this is also what neglect from bad draft picks as well. Yeah. Because someone on the radio, the question today was, okay, the future. Who are the three people that you can build around and that you know they're gonna be here? And you really think about it, it's bad. It's a bad group you can put around. You got one, Devontae. You know he's good. Yeah. Your 2 is Goddard. Yeah. I think he's...
I'm not really sold on him.
No, I think he's taken the step since Ertz. I think he's going to get a contract, and I think he's going to... Once again, I think they'll probably overpay him because that's the Eagles, but I think he'll get a contract and he'll be... But then 3?
Who's the 3rd? Who is it?
Malata?
Yeah.
Like, because to me, what I said last week, it's evident... I'm not, like, when Miles' contract's done, bye. We don't need...
I mean, obviously, what we've seen through this transition is, like, you know, Miles is good, but is he that good?
He's good, but is he needed? You know? You're not going to pay him a lot of money because we now know he's injury-prone.
Yeah,
I mean... in this day and age, you don't need that stud running back. 2 years ago, you said this division was ran by Saquon and Zeke. Look where they are now.
Yeah.
Saquon can't stay healthy, and Zeke has fallen off a cliff. Yeah. They just don't pay. The life of their careers are just not there.
Running back life expectancy is not that long. And, I mean, I think that's another good hard look they got to look at in the offseason is, like, who do they want to get rid of and who do they want to keep,
we said this last year, too. These contracts that you have of old dudes, move on. Yeah, that's why I said last week they should have moved on from Fletch.
I love Fletch, but, you know, it's time for him to go.
And, you know, BG wants to come back next year, whatever, but you're just getting to that old guys again. Yeah. And going back to the 3 building pieces, Well, where do you don't hear Rager, you don't hear J. Jaw, you don't hear Andre Dillard, you don't hear Derek Barnett. These
all
top round picks
you know?
are nowhere to be found.
Right.
And that's what scares me when we're going into this draft with like 11 picks.
Right. And you can throw another guy in there that was slated to be a big player and who would be on that line. Sharif Miller, another huge draft pick that didn't live up to expectations.
I mean, you can even, I think it's a little premature, but you can even put Jalen there. It sucks to say, but I think it's evident to the fan base, other than the people that have connected to him so much. And yes, we love the kid. We love what he does off the field. But on the field, it just is not there.
But there's so much Howie hate, but Howie's got to be culpable in building this team. You know, he is the guy that signed off on these draft picks that just didn't make it.
Howie is good with everything except the draft. Because the trading back with the Dolphins, it looks amazing.
He pulls some deals.
Looks amazing. But the draft picks
are
terrible.
But his draft history has been a miss.
The only one they've got is Devontae, and they idiot-proofed that one.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we said that 2 years ago. When are you going to start drafting people from Alabama?
And the thing is, Devontae shouldn't even be on this team. It's because you screwed up on wide receiver pick after wide receiver pick after wide receiver pick. You missed DK. You missed Justin Jefferson. You missed those guys. And then you had to take a guy that you knew was going to finally be good. You couldn't outsmart anybody else now.
It looks to me like they can't even find a spot for Rager. Like they're trying to do some things just for him, you know, and it's not even working.
Yeah, it's those jet sweeps that okay, those worked in the Lions game. I didn't mind that. I kind of liked that. But as an actual wide receiver, he is garbage.
Yeah,
he's garbage. And I was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt going into the season, maybe with Devontae. No, he's just bad.
Yeah,
because you look at Devontae, a first-round pick, and Rager, a first-round pick.
Oh my God!
Are you kidding me?
No comparison.
Devontae is open every route. You know? He's just a stud. And then you got Rager, and it's just like, where is this guy?
And Rager's in his second year. You know what I mean? He should be at least with Devontae.
Yeah.
You know, and he just. I mean, the only thing he's strong at is his social media game. You know?
Yeah, and getting mad
Obviously,
at people.
I wish he'd put some more effort into playing because, damn, I mean, him and J-Jaw, I mean, I could say goodbye to those guys this offseason. Really?
No, that's what I mean. I mean, this is what happens. And I know I said a couple weeks ago that this Jalen Hurts pick is a pick that has set this team back. But you can say collectively the draft picks, as we've known. You know what I mean? This is something we've known. And that's what, as exciting as the draft is going to be when we eventually get there. And I know it's really early to talk about it. But this is what this season is. We knew this is what it was going to be. And the draft's going to be very important for the future of this team. Because you need to hit on 50% of these draft picks you have. You're going to have 3 first-round picks in the top 15 probably. And you need to get studs.
I really think, you know, and people have said this, I mean, we sold our soul for that Super Bowl. But what we created in doing that was we created Howie and Jeffrey thinking they know what they're doing.
Well, that's the thing.
And they don't.
And that's the thing. They need to address defense. Because even if next year, you could even do this next year too. I know I've been saying all the different quarterback situations for next year. But you could bring Jalen back just because of the cost and just know he's not the guy.
Yeah.
The only way he is the guy is if they win the Super Bowl next year. And that ain't going to happen. So you just tell him that. And then, because the Russ thing, why would he come here?
We're 2 years away.
Why would Russell Wilson come here? And really, why would you destroy draft capital to get that done? And then the draft is nobody.
There's no stud quarterback.
I don't want a single quarterback talk during the draft, even though I know it will happen. And I know the linebacker won't be taken, and I know the safety won't be taken. Pieces that, because your defense is the line. Right. That's the only stock you put into the defense.
Yep.
And it's not doing anything.
Right.
So no crap that the rest of the defense looks like cheeks.
Yeah.
It's just, that's the part that's frustrating. Because I do agree, they continue to put effort. I'm not, like, they're not trying. You know what I mean? There's a couple times last year that I was like, is there really dog in this team right now? Are they really going out there and fighting? Yeah. But I see the effort. Yeah. I see them trying. I mean, it's just they're not good.
They've been in every game except Dallas, really. I mean,
the Buccaneers game.
They kind of kept you there.
Because you got fourth quarter pad stacker Jalen.
Yeah, true. Okay, I'm with you.
So, I mean, that's the thing. The big thing is I'm not even going in Jalen in this episode because he did what he did. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a bad game for him, but it was just that's his normal stat line. He can't throw the ball. He throws for like $150 each game, which in this day and age of the NFL is not good. And he just misses throws that costs us. Right. He missed Goddard. He missed Devontae. And those plays are difference makers. This could be a completely different talk. If they won that game, it would have been crazy to say, but we could have honestly been looking at playoffs. Because I don't know what to say about this week's game, because I thought it was more winnable than what it was. Wow. But they went down and beat Dallas last week, the Broncos. Yeah, so we don't know.
They whooped them.
Yeah, they went down and played. But then you play like the Giants and the Jets, and even the Saints now is winnable without Jameis. So if they could have pulled it out on Sunday, it would have been very interesting.
Story of our season.
Well, that's true too. Woulda. So I don't know. I don't know. I still feel like this week's winnable, but I've kind of had that like slight inkling all year, like, oh yeah, this game's kind of winnable. I don't know, the whole altitude thing, that's always a thing with Mile High. I mean, it's tough to breathe, whatever. I don't know how that actually works. But, I don't know. We'll have to see. You just want to continue to see growth. We want to see Saucy continue to call good games. Because I think the last 2 weeks he's looked good. I think he's not been the blame at all the last 2 weeks.
No.
And, well, the thing is with the defense, too, these quarterbacks are completing like 50%, 80% passing.
Crazy.
That has happened to the Eagles.
You're not gonna win many
5 times in like the first 75 years of their existence, and it happened 4 times just this year.
Yeah.
That's insane. So yeah, you're not gonna win games like that, and it doesn't help that Teddy Bridgewater is like the highest in the league in completion.
Yeah.
So that ain't freaking Teddy Two Gloves. We'll have to see what he can do.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I hate to talk about the draft this early. It's week 10, but that's where we are now. That's where we're at.
You know, hey, give a shout out to all the veterans out there. Enjoy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service. Much love, much respect.
Yes. So we'll be back next Wednesday as always. I don't know. Maybe there's a win. Maybe they can get something going. But at this point, do we want to get anything going? Tank. Get those draft picks higher. But we'll be back as always next Wednesday. Thank you for watching. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at birds_squawk. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Fly Eagles fly.
Go Birds.